Так, и нужно обязательно дать микрофоны, чтобы она микрофон говорила. Вот, у нас только вот такие. Еще два. Включенные. Включенные.
Thank you. Great. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So at the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, where I work as the Director for Infrastructure, we do a lot in supporting digitalization across our countries. Digitalization is part of our strategic plan, a 5-year strategic plan, and we try to optimize digital solutions for our clients. In terms of projects that we support, in urban transport, we have smart cities. We are trying to promote digital twins to improve infrastructure and to make it more digital for our cities. A number of years ago in Kazakhstan, we supported the Kazakh government with the introduction of a tolling system for the road network. And nowadays we work with a number of countries in Central Asia in promoting artificial intelligence technologies in maintenance of road networks. So, of course, as part of our work, we are trying to assess the capacity of our clients, governments and private companies in the region, in terms of how digital they are. I have to say that some of our clients are very well advanced, so in basically accepting and using digital technologies, but it's not everywhere. Some clients are at a low stage of working with digital technologies, and today at this panel, we would like to discuss, what can be done in the region, for the region, what are the key challenges, and, what support the governments could provide to investors, and how digital technologies can help private companies and public sector entities to become more efficient. My first question I would like to address to Mr. Rahimov, Deputy Minister of Investments and Trade. Mr. Rahimov, of course, you are coming from the Ministry for Investments and Foreign Trade, and of course international trade is very important for Uzbekistan. We would be very interested to hear, what transport plans Uzbekistan has for improving international trade with its neighbors and beyond, and what role digital technologies will play in such plans.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli Katya Miroshnik, hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar. Ruxsat berasizlar, avvalambor Investitsiya va tashqi savdo vazirligi rahbariyati nomidan ushbu tadbirda ishtirok etayotganinglar uchun eng avvalo katta minnatdorchilikni bildiramiz. Hammanglarga ma'lumki, mana bu yerda delegatsiya a'zolari, bu yirik transport kompaniyalari va boshqa yetuk mutaxassislar ishtirok etayotganligi hammamizga ma'lum. Transport deganda biz to'g'ri savol
Translation into English is channel 2. Mm-hmm.
Нормально? Rivojlangan mamlakatlar sanoat va xizmat ko'rsatishning yangi davriga o'tishda transport tizimi u alohida ahamiyatga ega. Mana hozirgi katta yig'ilishimizda ham bu transport bu iqtisodiyotning bir yuragi, drayveri deb aytildi. Shuning uchun Investitsiya va tashqi savdo vazirligini milliy eksport va import xalqaro transport siyosatida mas'ul bo'lgan bir Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli Katemiroshnik, hurmatli mehmonlar, xonimlar va janoblar. Avvalambor ruxsat bergaysiz, fursatdan foydalanib investitsiyalar va tashqi savdo vazirligi rahbariyati nomidan ushbu tadbirga tashrif buyurganinglar uchun katta rahmat. Mana bu zalda yig'ilishda juda katta ekspertlar, transport sohasida o'zining kasbini yetuk malakali insonlar o'tiribdi. Mana bu transport deganda bu iqtisodiyotning hozirgi katta yig'ilishimizda ham aytildi, iqtisodiyotning tomiri, bu transportsiz tasavvur qilib bo'lmaydi. Transport bu aytganingizdek mas'ul investitsiya va tashqi savdo vazirligining mas'ul xodimi bo'lgandek, transportni raqamlashtirish bu juda ko'p narsalarga o'zini bog'liqligini ko'rsatib o'tadi. Ya'ni biz ko'radigan bo'lsak, O'zbekistonda transport tizimini jadal raqamlashtirish zarurati o'zi nima sabab deganda biz raqamlardan ko'rib chiqishimiz kerakki, bu eksport va import operatsiyalarini kengaytirish, geografiyasini kengaytirish sezilarli darajasida o'z o'rniga ega. Ya'ni 2022-yildan buyon biz tahlillarni ko'rsak, O'zbekistonda shu transport bilan bog'liq 185 ta davlat bilan O'zbekistonning aloqalari o'rnatilgan. Bu 185 ta davlat bilan oxirgi 5 yilni tahlil qiladigan bo'lsak, tashqi savdo aylanmasi sezilarli darajada o'sgan. Shuning uchun O'zbekistonda mana hozir hurmatli Shavkat Mirziyoyev ham aytdilar, men o'sha talabim shu raqamlashtirish deb. Shu transport sohasini raqamlashtirishda bu juda ko'p narsalarga ega bo'lamiz. Ya'ni bu insonni xarajatini, insonni vaqtini va tadbirkorlarni juda ko'p vaqtini tejashga va o'z vaqtida mahsulotlarni o'zini yetkazib berish joylariga o'z vaqtida yetib borishga, oldindan ma'lumot almashga juda ko'p imkoniyatlar beradi. O'zbekiston eksport tovarlarini xorijga yetkazish uchun xabarlar bor. 52 ta chegara nazorat punktlari bor. Raqamlashtirishni qog'ozsiz hujjatga o'tkazish sonini sezilarli darajada O'zbekiston bugungi kunda kamaytirgan, lekin o'zining oldiga yana maqsad qilib qo'yganki, raqamlashtirishda shu qog'ozlikni yana ham kamaytirib, buni raqamlashtirish darajasini ko'proq yuqori darajaga olib chiqish. Mana bugungi kunda 60 turdagi qog'oz kamaytirilgan bo'lsa, bu hali kam. Buni biz shu yerda o'tirgan mutaxassislar bilan, tashuvchi kompaniyalar bilan va mana Traseka va boshqa kompaniya, DP World degan kompaniyalar bilan bularning tajribasini almashgan holatda O'zbekistonni transport infratuzilmasini, kommunikatsiyasini raqamlashtirib yetarli darajaga yetishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Uni raqamlashtirish qamrov darajasini kengaytirish va dinamikasi, hajmi va nomenklaturasi bo'yicha ham tashqi savdoning o'sh dinamikasiga hozirgi kunga mos kelmaydi. Shuning uchun biz O'zbekiston tovarlarini tashuvchi avtotransportchilarni to'xtab turish vaqtini aytaylik 50% ga qisqartirish uchun E-permit, E-tir, E-freight, E-transit, E-SMR tizimlarini qo'llash orqali qisqartirish evaziga yiliga 18 million dollarlik mablag'ni tejab qolamiz. Bu o'z navbatida bu shu tadbirkorlarimizga juda katta imkoniyat beradi. O'zbekiston transport va logistika tizimining raqamlashtirish bozori ko'p tarmoqli va katta salohiyatga ega. Undan faqat transport va logistikaning turli sohalarida raqamli texnologiyalarni yetkazib berish, o'rnatish va texnik xizmat ko'rsatish, balki O'zbekistonda butlovchi qismlar ishlab chiqarish korxonalarini yaratishni, dasturiy ta'minotni mahalliylashtirish, kadrlar tayyorlash, transportning o'rta qatlam menejerlari malakasini oshirishni ham o'z ichiga oladi. Dastlabki hisob-kitoblarga ko'ra, raqamlashtirish bozori hajmi, masalan, O'zbekiston xalqaro avtomobil transporti tashuvlari segmentida 1 million dollardan oshadi. xalqaro yuk tashuvlarda davlat statistikani raqamlashtirish hamda SAP, Navistar, Elversoft, Cargo Solution, Cargo Management, BBC va boshqa dasturlarni joriy etish ham muhim ahamiyatga ega. Logistika ma'lumotlarini almashinuv uchun Markaziy Osiyo va Janubiy Kavkaz asoslarini yaratish masalasini ko'rib chiqilishi kerak. Shuning uchun biz bu yerda yetakchi axborot texnologiya kompaniyalarini birgalikda ishlashga jalb qilib, O'zbekistonda hamkorligini qilib, shu transport sohasidagi raqamlashtirish imkoniyatlarini yanada kengaytirishga barcha imkoniyatlarimiz bor. Uni birgalashib ishlashga yaxshi natijalarga erishamiz. Rahmat.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rahimov, and it's great to hear that Uzbekistan welcomes ICT companies. Of course, the region needs more digitalization and digital technologies here, and great that you have a good investment climate and welcome investors. You know, we also have a new panelist who joined us. It's Mr. Chariyev, Deputy Minister for Transport. I would like to welcome you, and perhaps maybe you can also share with us a bit more information about transport networks, in Uzbekistan, and basically the throughput capacity, whether it's sufficient, the quality of service, and how digital technologies, can help. What are your plans in this respect?
Thank you very much. First of all, good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I'd like to, first of all, welcome everybody for this beautiful event, International Investment Forum, first taking place in Tashkent. It is a great event for investors and potential partners to take part and find out capacities, conveniences and facilities and opportunities which are opening up in our country. As our President rightly mentioned, and he briefly spoke about strategy for the next 2022-2026. But in terms of digitalization, we have a strategy until 2030. So on that strategy, we have a whole roadmap where all sectors of transport, particularly in aviation, in railways, in road infrastructure, in auto industry, we all have our clear guidance, purpose, and tasks. So based on those strategies, which is, it's a combined knowledge and consultation and experience which is put together, and that's our roadmap for the future, especially for the digitalization. There are so many areas that we can talk about this if we come in detail, but what we have done, we first started from government organization because we greatly lacked digitalization in our industry, in our sector. Everything was in paper, everything, communication is in paper, so a lot of work on whatever we did. For the last few years, we could see a dramatic change in our sector. For instance, in Ministry of Transport, we have eliminated all documentation. Everything is electronic. We sign electronically. We receive documents electronically. We process everything electronically. We verify everything electronically. In aviation, we have created two big companies, Uzbekistan Airports and Uzbekistan Airways. They are still state companies, but first important and major step that they have taken is started digitalizing their operations, their management, CRM, customer relations, the loyalty programs, and so on. So when you look at those areas that we're implementing, they are major. So it's a new opportunity, new door for our companies to create and build new partnerships as well with new companies or new friends who are coming to Uzbekistan. In regards to railway operation, railway was, I can openly say, we were far behind from digitalization. But nowadays you can see fast-moving trains, you can see electronic tickets being sold, It's a combined operation for e-ticket sales for aviation, avia and railway and road. You can see less and less cash operations in our transport sector. So if you have certain cards like payment cards, or we have online platform, or you have application that created by these organizations, you can easily use them. So I can say in today, just in Tashkent, we have reduced cash operations for transport sector by 50%. So next, new cities are coming, and we are doing some pilot test runs on other operations on other cities as well, but it is also a major step. In regards to auto and cargo transportation, we have recently in 2021, we implemented e-tier operation, and it was run with Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan. So e-tier allowed us to reduce and eliminate all the paperwork to, for the customs operations, for customs check, which you all know. In addition to that, we have also ran a test pilot run with Turkey for e-permit. So instead of issuing tons and tons of paper and sending to each other, we have implemented e-permit operation. So it was successfully run, and we had trucks going to Turkey and coming back on e-permit basis. So if we want to talk about new opportunities or what lays ahead of us, there are, I say there could be hundreds of areas that our partners could look at, and I can brief them if necessary, or I can share with necessary information. So if they are, if they're interested, we could talk in detail. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cheriyev. Great to hear that you've done a lot in the aviation sector, and still a lot to do in the railway sector, but you're on it. And of course, it's great to hear that you almost went cashless in the cities, and on TIR as well. So, but we'll have Tatiana to basically maybe comment on that as well for them. So thank you so much. So now I would like basically to address my question to Mr. Albastaki from DP World. I know you are doing a lot in the region. So you are managing Khargos dry port in Kazakhstan, and you have some plans for the Navai logistics hub here in Uzbekistan. Could you please share with us what are your plans for the region in terms of logistics, and how you are planning to use digital technologies here? So, and what Central Asian countries, how can they benefit from your experience?
Right. Thank you very much. First, I'm very happy to be here. Today I was very much impressed. I have never seen a president with such passion. He takes notes, he listens, he comments on every single point. The gentleman is hands-on, and this gives us confidence to come here and work with such a beautiful people like this. So, DP World, just for awareness, we are a global trade enabler. People used to look at us as port terminal operator. We operate ports, we manage ports. Today we are much broader than that. We are much bigger than a port operator. Our chairman says this vision, this is our vision. We want to affect the movement of cargo from the factory floor to the customer's door. And between the factory floor and customer's door, there are many activities, many players in between. Just think of a simple import-export experience. You have an exporter who needs to find a buyer. DP World now launched an e-commerce. You know, with the pandemics, you can't go and fly and find buyers. So today, we launched, our focus is in Africa in the beginning, soon sure will be global. We have an e-commerce called Dubai, D-U-B-U-Y, D-U-B-U-Y.com. So this is first enabling a technology of selling and buying. So then it comes the issue of finance. Exporters need finance, importer needs finance. We came up with a digital trade finance, which gives, solves the issue of liquidity crunch and cash flow issues. This also we have done. So when it comes to port, we manage ports. That's our core business. We are into logistics. We are into trucking company. We own many trucking companies. We are operating in 6 continents. We operate even feeder business in the ocean short sea journey. So we are like a shipping line. And we even manage rail. We are the second biggest private rail operator in India. And India is huge. India is a continent. So DP World, people look at it as ocean and sea. We are managing rail. That gives a good foundation of what I want to discuss with you here today, of this middle corridor being active after pandemics and after the situation in Russia and Ukraine. So the focus is going back into the middle corridor, which involves many countries. So what solution does DP World has to help this middle corridor? We, as you know, cargo moves not alone. Cargo moves with data. You cannot segregate the physical movement of cargo from the data that it carries with, the information. It's very important. So the president himself talked about digitizations. And Deputy Minister has talked about digitization, the focus of, I congratulate you for all the work that you have done of digitalizations. And so, as you know, when a cargo moves through multiple countries, focusing on the middle corridor, and it intensifies the inefficiency of the already fragmented data exchange points. As DP World, we designed our solution to solve exactly these issues. When data moves, when cargo moves cross countries, what do we do? So our solution serves every player in the supply chain. I described to you, we are from the factory floor to the customer's door. There are so many players. Even we provide customs digital solutions. You'll tell me, you are DP World, why are you into customs? Because we in Dubai, we manage our ports and customs. The digital solution, we manage it. And I am the former CEO of a single window of cargo clearance in Dubai called Dubai Trade. Today I sit as the chairman of Dubai Trade. So customs, it's very important for anything you do. You might have the best transportation system. If customs is not advanced, customs is not autonomous, customs is not digitized, the whole thing will fail. So we have a long experience of digitizing customs business. So our solution, just to reiterate, starts from the back office systems of the service providers, such as rail operators. They have back office systems. They have a lot of data. You need to fetch this data, give it to the end customers, and pass it to the other border. So all this orchestration of data, this is what we are good at. So then going to risk management and clearance system of customs and border control authorities, which we have done it in Dubai very well. In Dubai, it's a small city. We do 22 million transactions in Dubai trade. We handled more than 15 million containers. If it was not all digital, we will not be able to do that. And no digital means corruptions, means delay, means slowness, means congestions of the roads. So it has many ramifications. And it goes also, our solution to the communities, to the digital communities. Communities, when I say the people, or the companies who use single interface to clear their cargo, be it with customs, be it with ports, be it with dry ports. So these solutions simplify and streamline the process of trade and logistics community, including traders, freight forwarders, truckers, whoever is handling cargo. These traders, they should have a system. So our digital trade solutions are seamlessly integrated. That's the key word. There's not one system that it's all integrated in one ecosystem, which is also open to integration with other back office systems of the service providers and the ERP systems or the CRM of a service provider. The ultimate objectives is transforming and standardizing unstructured data. I said data is everywhere. If you follow and track the movement of cargo, everywhere there are data. But these are, most of the cases, I've been in so many countries, I've seen it, it's all unstructured data. You cannot exchange it, you cannot transform it, you cannot use it. So to enable efficient and seamless data exchange between all parties through an easy-to-use, unified user experience and providing end-to-end visibility and traceability from source to destination. That's the key distinguishing point. So developing the physical infrastructure of the middle corridor must be coupled with implementing an advanced digital ecosystem to achieve the desired objectives of reinventing the Silk Road. So the Silk Road has been there, it's been ignored for a while, now it's coming natural again. And to have an ideal and permanent solutions, the digital solution should be fully well designed to cope the solution from the origin to the final journey of the cargo. And that's what I think we are very good at that, and we know it. We are not an IT company, but we are even more efficient than any IT company because we are giving business solution, not an IT solution and ask you go and live with it. No, I make sure that it works, it delivers what it's supposed to do. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Al-Bastaki. So basically, digitalization is at the heart of DP World, and DP World is successful because you digitalized everything. Thank you. Tatiana, maybe you can keep the mic with you, so because my next question is to you. So we've heard a lot about digitalizing customs, digitalizing transit. So you represent International Road Transport Union. In the International Road Transport Union, what are you doing in the digitalization space?
Thank you very much, Ekaterina. Indeed, in the recent years, and especially months and weeks, what transport needs is resilience, and we all understand that road transport presents great adjustability to ever emerging challenges of which supply chains are facing. As RU, we support digitalization, we support trade facilitation through digitalizing transport documents. And specifically, I would like to talk about two systems which use two transport documents, which are TIR and CMR. Both of them are based on UN conventions, which are key conventions for international road transport. And as RU, we are mandated by UN to manage the TIR Convention worldwide. The TIR Convention has 77 contracting parties, and Central Asia, and in particular Uzbekistan, is championing the use of TIR. And in the last years, we could see a huge growth in the use of TIR in Uzbekistan by Uzbekistan transport operators, which was over 40% of annual increase in the use of tier. Last year, Uzbekistan used over 90,000 tier guarantees. And also, as it was mentioned by the Deputy Minister, Uzbekistan was also the leader in the region and in the world in digitalization of the tier system. Last year, it was a milestone year in the tier convention because a new annex of the convention entered into force, and this annex lays the basis for digital tier. And Uzbekistan, in fact, was the first country to pilot and to launch digital corridors. The first corridor was activated last year, and it connected Uzbekistan with Kazakhstan. Then it was followed by a trilateral digital corridor connecting Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. And only last week, there was another operation, digital operation under tier, which connected Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. So we can really see great dynamics in digitalization here, and other countries are ready to follow. And we hope that next corridor activated on the digital tier will be Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, because all technical conditions are already there. And now, for those who don't know what tier system is, the really two key features of this global transit system is security and facilitation. And when we move from paper to digital, these two elements, security and facilitation, are even more reinforced. And of course, when we move in general from paper environment to digital environment, we move from linear data exchanges on the paper, which causes a lot of delays, inaccuracies, and also creates room for corruption. We move to digital data circulation, which means integrated and inclusive data circulation. So we get away from delays and we transition to real-time data circulation. And in our case, it's not only real-time, it's also advanced information. So under tier, we have IT tools which connect all related parties together. We have B2B solutions, and what's even more important, it's B2C, B2G. So transport operators are connected to customs authorities, and they send information which accompanies their transport in advance, even before the transport starts, to all customs authorities of the countries which you are going to cross or to enter. And for customs authorities, it means that they receive exactly the same information on the same transport, and customs systems can perform advanced risk analysis and also to make advanced control decision. So it's not only real time, it's even advanced data circulation among all related actors. So now the solution is there, but it actually takes people to run and improve the solutions. So that's why we see the next step here in the region is to train transport operators and customs authorities who need to use the system, because it's a big change management. So this was about tier, and another instrument which goes hand in hand with tier, it's CMR, another convention, which is supported by another document, CMR consignment note. And CMR convention is a convention for the private sector because it manages relations between consignor and transport operator, or consignee and transport operator, and it defines the carrier liability for the cargo he is carrying. So CMR has 56 contracting parties, and 30 out of them acceded to the ECMR protocol. Uzbekistan is one of them. In the region, it's also Tajikistan. So now everyone is thinking, what can be digitalized CMR solution? And today we have a number of pilots which were carried out on bilateral and multilateral basis with the participation of public and private sector. And all these pilots are successful. It means that there is a solution, but a challenge here is that today there is a patchwork of solutions. And then also, these solutions for today are costly. So that's why the challenge here is how to find a harmonized solution which will be usable by SMEs, because we know that road transport is run by 90% by SMEs. So the solution should be simple, should be accessible, and should be harmonized. And what's interesting about TIR and CMR, these two key mechanisms, is that the data which is exchanged among public and private actors is practically the same. So that's why when we move from paper to digital, it becomes very easy for a company, for example, to use the same set of data and then to send this data to competent authorities. And because the data is digital, it should be possible for authorities, customs in this case, to create two separate digital documents from the same set of data. And this is what we are proposing together with our members, to competent authorities and other partners. So basically, based on the existing tools, our approach is to not to reinvent the wheel, but to use the already existing mechanisms. And those existing mechanisms, they already ensure the right exchanges between business partners, transport operators, and their clients, and also between transport operators and competent authorities. So that is why what's important, in conclusion I would like to say that we see harmonization as a very important aspect of digitalization. And there are harmonized solutions in the region and internationally. And we need to use those solutions and to look at digitalization in a consistent and integrated way in order to maximize the benefits of existing instruments and also of existing tools which are already used in Uzbekistan, in the region, and globally. And this way they will be able to raise the efficiency of transport by reducing costs, reducing time, and also improving resilience of supply chains. And what's also very, very much important is these solutions, digitalization in general, will also be conducive to transparency and security by protecting the state's budget. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. And thank you that you basically mentioned resilience of systems and saving money for the governments and for private sector clients. I would like now to ask our guest from Pakistan. What are your plans here in the country, in Uzbekistan, and actually whether you are using these digital tools that Tatiana mentioned or previous speakers mentioned, whether you are using any of them in your operations?
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. And before I begin, I'd like to just tell you about my experiences from when I was here in 1992. And I've come back in 2022, and alhamdulillah, there's such a marked improvement in the country, and the people are as warm as they are when they were back then. And my compliments to everybody who has made Uzbekistan what it is today. To answer your question, TCS is the largest integrated logistics company in Pakistan. It was founded way back in 1984, started off as a courier company and now embraces a lot of verticals, which includes overland express, warehouse and distribution, airlines, trucking, and other financial services. The core of our business is actually driven by digitization. We've maintained market leadership within Pakistan over the past 35 years, and it has not come easy. Products can be cloned, systems can be cloned, and people can be poached. But what keeps you ahead of the pack, in our experience, has been the effective and the efficient deployment of information technology. We are by far the market leader with 60% share in the courier market. We have approximately 40,000 customers walking into our 1,000 plus express centers every day. We have 1.5 million square feet of warehousing. We've got 900 trucks, etc., etc. Now, all of this would not be possible if we had not managed the data. Now, the data we get, or the data which is generated by our systems, allows us to have effective decision making. And that effective decision making includes, let's say, route planning, courier incentives, pricing structures. And by having investments in in this discipline, we've managed to stay ahead. On the regional front, as Tatiana mentioned, we are also the first company in Pakistan that was awarded the TIR license way back in 2018. And to date, we've done 4 commercial runs into Uzbekistan. And as we speak, the 5th is just coming across Afghanistan and should be here in the next 3 or 4 days. TIR has given us an edge over the conventional truckers in terms of technology. It allows us to upload the data to a centralized cloud, and the data is then dissipated to those border crossing points to where that truck will be passing. So there's no question of under-invoicing, there's no question of other things that go on in a non-electronic world. The ambassador in Pakistan once told me that we are exporting, let's say, X amount of products into Pakistan. But when I see your data, we are having X minus delta. Where is the delta going? The delta is what we call BL switching. The bill of lading is switched in Uzbekistan for whatever reasons. And similarly, when we send products from Pakistan to Uzbekistan, there is a big difference in the data as well. So TIR takes care of that. TIR, being a global connection, allows us to enter the data in Pakistan, and the same is then reflected in the customs of Uzbekistan and vice versa. So I personally think that the more digitization we have, the better it is for all of us. And I think all the countries are participating to the best of their ability and their capacity to make the Strait Corridor work. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Zafar. Thank you, and it's great that you are here in Uzbekistan. Maybe you can bring, all this experience that you have to this region, to this country, and to this region. And now I would like to pass the floor to Aset Asafbayev from Traseka. So Aset, what is Traseka's view on digitalization? So how can we harmonize rules among countries? How digital tools can help us here?
Спасибо большое. В первую очередь, уважаемый господин Мирошник, прежде чем ответить на ваш вопрос, хотел поблагодарить узбекскую сторону за организацию такого форума, бесподобного форума, я считаю. Он, наверное, первый форум не только содержательно, но, наверное, для многих из нас, он еще и первый после пандемии, когда мы собираемся так вживую, еще и без масок. Я думаю, чего нам сегодня не хватает, вот именно такого. И спасибо Узбекистану, что смогли так нас организовать и собрали здесь. Отдельно хочу сказать, что очень рад, что вопросы цифровизации транспортных систем выделены отдельно в панельную сессию, так как мы все понимаем, что цифровизация – это сегодняшнее уже веление времени, это наша жизнь, она у нас везде, во всех сферах деятельности и, конечно, должно быть и в сфере транспорта. И вопрос, конечно, несомненно, вопрос транспортной инфраструктуры, вопрос вовлеченности, взаимосвязанности этой транспортной инфраструктуры, международной транспортной сети, это очень важно. И в данной связи мне будет очень приятно поделиться своими мнениями. Часть вопросов будет в рамках, часть вопросов, проблем, которые поднимали наши коллеги, будет у меня также, я на них тоже вкратце остановлюсь. Как его включить? Сейчас, секунду. Так, это... Наверное, надо слайд, будьте добры, включить. Я хотел просто вкратце остановиться на повестке дня, так сказать, Тросеки и сказать о том, что те вопросы, которые сегодня спикерами поднимаются, они также в повестке дня у Тросеки находятся. Страны Тросека активно работают по вопросам цифровизации. На сегодняшний день у нас 13 стран Тросека. Ну, к сожалению, не тот слайд, да, или презентация, или что? Или куда-то я не туда отправляю? Хорошо, давайте без презентации, ладно. Столько старались, ладно. Расскажем так, да. То есть все страны Тросека занимаются цифровизацией, но необходимо что отметить? Что это, соответственно, в повестке дня у Тросеки, у постоянного секретариата Тросеки этот вопрос находится. И вопрос цифровизации я хотел рассказать в двух направлениях. Первое направление – это, конечно, то направление, которое мы двигаем по реализации международных инициатив. То есть мы помогаем странам, чтобы реализовать эти международные инициативы, чтобы в странах эти инициативы реализовывалось, так сказать, сбалансированно, и максимально мы законодательство гармонизировали, дабы эти инициативы были не только локально, отдельно в странах, а именно работали на протяжении коридора, для чего эти инициативы реализуются. И одна из инициатив, конечно, ЕТИР, на этом много коллег остановились. Я хотел лишь сказать, что рад видеть здесь уважаемую Татьяну Рейбелет, она много сил прикладывает, что именно ЕТИР в странах он заработал. Я рад, что вижу вас снова здесь, и мы совместно с САТом реализовываем стараемся в странах реализовать этот проект, и один из вопросов это мы планируем его реализовать в том числе с участием морского участка. И надеюсь, у нас это получится. На этом вопросе остановились. Я лишь хотел сказать дальше про ЕСМР. То есть ЕСМР это тоже инициатива, которая направлена на переход в безбумажный носитель. Но здесь правильно его преимущества сказали, но нужно сказать и минусы. Да? То есть, да, мы протокол КДПГ ратифицировали, в частности, Узбекистан, по-моему, в 2020 сентябре, по-моему, ратифицировал, Таджикистан, там соседние страны ратифицировали. В целом 8 стран из 13 стран Тросека ратифицировали этот протокол КДПГ. Но протокол ЕСМР, да, протокол КДПГ, он отличный документ, но в то же время там не регламентированы какие вопросы. Те вопросы, которые сейчас вызывают проблемы у стран, это вопросы передачи данных, это вопросы признания подписей. То есть это те вопросы, которые надо решать. И пилоты или же те перевозки, которые реализуются, например, в странах Европейского Союза, они не подходят для стран, так сказать, Средней Азии или для других стран, которые не объединены в такой интеграционный процесс. В странах Европейского Союза там нет внутренних границ, там между бизнесом эти протоколы, эти ЕСМР применяются и так далее, там проще. Здесь, вот, к примеру, если в Узбекистане будет подписан, это, вы понимаете, в электронном виде товаротранспортная накладная поедет там, например, ну, в соседнем, там, Таджикистан куда-то поедет. Но для того, чтобы они признали, нужно решить вот вопросы передачи данных, то, что сказали, вопросы признания подписей и так далее. То есть эти проблемы надо решать, и я здесь вот, мы ждем сейчас как раз таки реакции узбекской стороны, мы готовы помочь в этом, мы предлагаем сейчас создать соответствующую рабочую группу совместно с САТом, совместно со сторонами, кто выберем, и начать реализовывать этот проект. И надо расшивать те проблемы, которые есть. И мы готовы привести, так сказать, европейские технологии, то, что в Европе реализовано, раскрыть здесь, доработать его с учетом требований таможенных органов совместно и с требованиями узбекской стороны и с другой стороны, которая будет также пилотировать. И, так сказать, начинать применять эту систему, потому что ее цель, она прекрасна, это именно исключить бумажный носитель и перейти, так сказать, на электронное применение документов. Это что касается международных инициатив. Следующая инициатива, которую мы двигаем, это совместно с Международным центром транспортной дипломатии. Мы двигаем проект GTRD. Это глобальный транзитный документ. Здесь говорили про контейнерные перевозки. Здесь говорили о том, что эти контейнерные перевозки, когда перегружаются, необходимо, чтобы его сопровождали цифровые данные. И вот как раз таки та инициатива, которая решает эту проблему, это независимо от вида транспорта. сопровождать контейнер, независимо от того, сколько раз он перегружался, сопровождать этот контейнер единым документом. Это реализация, так сказать, хорошо известной инициативы Всемирной таможенной организации по глобальной таможенной сети. Он основан на технологии блокчейн, разработан совместно с корпорацией IBM, и мы планируем в ближайшее время его пропилотировать, чтобы странам продемонстрировать все возможности этого документа. То есть мы сейчас понимаем, что тот же самый наш коридор, он мультимодальный, то есть одним видом транспорта по коридору Трассека не проехать. Мы понимаем, что у нас разная колейность. В Китае узкая колея, Казахстан широкая колея, дальше перегрузился на морской транспорт, дальше Азербайджан, Грузия, там Турция опять узкая колея, или там перегрузился опять на морской транспорт. И, соответственно, везде нужно переоформлять документы. Чтобы этого не было, как раз таки мы предлагаем эту инициативу. Это как раз таки та инициатива, которая направлена на применение единого документа независимо от вида транспорта. Я думаю, мы должны к этому стремиться, потому что для мультимодальных коридоров это очень важно. Мы говорим о том, что очень важно двигаться по ЕСМР, мы должны двигаться по электронному ЦИМС, МГС на железнодорожном транспорте, да, то есть и на других видах транспорта. Но эти документы решают, так сказать, и цифровизируют отдельные виды транспорта. А именно в сфере мультимодальных нам нужен такой универсальный инструмент, и здесь мы работаем вот по такой международной инициативе в многостороннем формате. Что касается второго направления, это по инициативам самого Трассека, хотел вкратце остановиться. Мы со всеми странами Трассека в прошлом году работали над разработкой концепции по цифровизации коридора Трассека. 21 октября 2021 года мы эту концепцию на встрече министров и представителей министерств 13 стран, мы этот документ приняли. Эта концепция предусматривает как раз таки системные подходы для того, чтобы в странах быстрее реализовать цифровизацию. Но при этом очень важно понимать уровень, так сказать, цифровизации в странах. То есть необходимо это тоже вопрос учитывать при реализации. Что в конечном итоге эта цифровая концепция предусматривает? Эта цифровая концепция предусматривает разработку единой платформы на коридоре Трассека. Единая платформа, которая объединит транспортных операторов, морские порты, государственные органы, таможенные органы, пункты пропуска и так далее на единой платформе для того, чтобы обеспечить передачу, как правильно сказали, стандартизированных данных между странами. И чтобы этот коридор он стал более сервисным, он стал более цифровым. И на базе этой цифровой платформы мы планируем также реализовать применение единого транзитного разрешения. Что сейчас говорили, вот e-пермит, да, электронный пермит, очень правильно, что Узбекистан там реализует с Турцией, да, то есть перешли на электронные разрешения и так далее. Но я, к примеру, скажу, само требование разрешения она не отменяет. То есть мы вышли с инициативы, страны сейчас его проводят внутригосударственную процедуру согласования о подписании соглашения о едином транзитном разрешении. Что это предполагает? К примеру, чтобы перевести груз с Таджикистана до Турции, нужно в каждой стране получать разрешение. Это разрешение, я имею в виду про транзитное разрешение. Транзитное разрешение ничуть не ущемляет интересы отечественных перевозчиков той или иной страны. Соответственно, мы предлагаем эти электронные транзитные разрешения перевести на одно транзитное разрешение, которое будет выдаваться для стран Трассека по данному коридору. При этом это разрешение мы планируем проводить только в электронном виде. Это позволит исключить необходимость каждой стране повторного получения транзитного разрешения. И при этом он будет электронный и будет удобный, и мы надеемся, что Узбекистан также поддержит эту инициативу ввиду того, что мы видим, как Узбекистан наращивает парк, отличная динамика, мы рады за Узбекистан. Если я не ошибаюсь, по-моему, до 20 тысяч или более 20 тысяч уже парк стал международных перевозчиков. Это все благодаря, я уверен, что мудрой политике президента, ввиду того, что он принял такие условия, что там даже, да, ну, наверное, самый лентяй даже обзаведется транспортом, наверное. Отличные условия, там нулевая пошлина и создание здесь, так сказать, возможности приобретения транспортных средств. То есть парк транспортных средств, он хорошо обновился у Узбекистана, и я думаю, теперь нужно дальше создавать условия, при которых этот парк будет конкурентно использоваться на других рынках для осуществления международных, так сказать, перевозок между другими странами. Поэтому я надеюсь, что к соглашению о едином транзитном разрешении, которое либерализует и которое цифровизирует, также присоединится Узбекистан. Конечно, мы работаем и над цифровизацией многосторонней системы разрешения, которая у нас работает с 2016 года. Он работает больше между странами вокруг Черного моря и тоже как вариант для Узбекистана присоединиться, то есть рассмотреть вопрос присоединения, который также направлен на упрощение и исключение необходимости получения в каждой стране отдельных документов. То есть в целом есть еще инициативы по внедрению электронных очередей, то есть мы также ждем ответа от узбекской стороны, то есть мировой опыт показывает, то есть те страны, которые внедрили электронные очереди, они значительно решили проблему пунктов пропуска. И очень хорошие условия создали для тех же самых водителей, которым не надо стоять в пункте пропуска, нарушать свой режим труда и отдыха, мучиться по бытовым условиям и так далее, и так далее. То есть электронные очереди – это решение в целом проблем, которые не чужды, так сказать, и для пунктов пропуска Средней Азии, для стран Средней Азии. Для многих стран это проблема, так сказать, номер один. Поэтому это тоже один из инициатив, который мы двигаем, и мы, как сказать, будем рады, если Узбекистан также будет присоединиться. Это все в целом позволит, так сказать, сделать хорошие, значительные шаги по цифровизации транспорта. Вкратце все. Я лишь хотел сказать, что это повестка дня, она актуальна, и планы у нас у всех там амбициозные, но именно согласовывая и совместным трудом мы достигнем, я уверен, хороших этапов по цифровизации. Благодарю за внимание.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. We've heard a lot today about digitalization, so it's penetrating, our lives and transport systems. As we've heard, a lot has been said on electronic consignment notes, electronic transit documents, electronic permits. We've heard about using digital tools to optimize freight scheduling and routing, and what we are doing in aviation and railway sector. So of course, a lot to be done, and here in the region. But again, these digital tools are coming into our lives. They are coming into transport systems, and they will help to make our transport more efficient. It will help to make our transport more transparent, and it will make it more resilient, and it will benefit not only the transport players but also everyone in the countries of Central Asia. I would like to thank our speakers today. It was an excellent panel, and if you have any questions, please address them bilaterally after the panel. Thank you.
راست Dear guest, we have another meeting here. We will have another meeting in 5 minutes here, please.
Дамы и господа, у нас здесь другое мероприятие начинается, пожалуйста.
bir. Yo'q. Vospush. Eshitilyaptimi? Ha, yaxshi. Bir. Pasa? Tamam. Teyga panasi qo'yaylik, mana pas ekan. Bo'lmasa bundoq qilishim kerak. Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli forum ishtirokchilari, mehmonlar. Investitsiya va savdo shartnomalari tuzish jarayonini ochiq deb e'lon qilamiz. Xush kelibsizlar. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear participants of the forum, we begin the ceremony of the signing investment and trade agreements. You are welcome. So we have a list and we will be announcing the names of the participants and the companies, and you come to the stage for signing the contracts, and after which you can take pictures. So ceremony is declared open. With a great pleasure, I would like to announce the Mr. Farhad Abdurrahmanov, the chairman of the board of the joint stock company Thermal Power Plants from Uzbekistan, and Mr. Yasunori Sakamoto, the general manager for EPC Business Infrastructure, Mitsubishi Corporation, on behalf of Mitsubishi Consortium. You are welcome. After signing the contract, you can take your the pictures. Photo taking process is to be held here. Thank you. We wish you all the best in your future cooperation. Our next participants are Mr. Kasim Hojayev Ulukbek, Director of the Investment Promotion Agency under the Ministry of Investment and Foreign Trade of the Republic of Uzbekistan, and Mr. Agaoglu Ezel, on behalf of the CCI International Holland BV. You are welcome. Our next participants are Mr. Shuhrat Beg Abdurrahmanov, the Hakim of Andijan region, and Shi Shinlong, the Director of Andijan WCC Cement. Keyingi ishtirokchilarimiz yana janob Abdurahmonov Shuhratbek, Andijon viloyat hokimi va Shu Yichao, Zen Plus Production kompaniyasi direktori. The next participants are again Mr. Abdurahmanov, the mayor of Andijan region, and Zen Plus Production director Shu Yichao. Rahmat, thank you very much. Keyingi ishtirokchilarimiz janob Abdurahmonov Shuhratbek, Andijon viloyati hokimi va janob Aziz Muhammad, Milestone Inshoot Sanai va Tijorat Limited shirkati direktori. The next participants are Mr. Abdurahmonov Shuhratbek, the mayor of Andijan region, and Mr. Aziz Muhammad, Milestone Inshoot Sanai va Tijorat Limited shirkati direktori. Katta rahmat. Next participants are Mr. Oripov Anwar, the Deputy Mayor of Surkhandarya region of Uzbekistan, and Samkanay Samiullah, Afghan-German company, director of the company. Please. Bizni keyingi ishtirokchilarimiz yana bir bor Surxondaryo viloyat hokimi o'rinbosari janob Oripov Anvar va kompaniya Leto, direktor kompaniya Leto Timur Galdobin. The next participants are Mr. Oripov, the Deputy Mayor of Surxondaryo region, and Timur Galdobin, kompaniya Leto LCC director. Spasiba. Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, our next participants are Mutalib John Khojimuratov from Uzbekistan, Angren Free Economic Zone Director, and Chao Yubo, Beijing Triumph International Engineering Company Director. Please come to the stage. Thank you very much. Keyingi ishtirokchilarimiz Mir Ismoil Text Invest oilaviy korxonasi direktori господин Jakparov va Cotonella kompaniyasi direktori Marco Zanier. Our next participants are the Mr. Jakparov, the director of Mir Ismoil Text Invest Family Enterprise, and Marco Zanier, director of Cotonella Company. Hurmatli ishtirokchilar, shu bilan hozirgi shartnomalarga qo'l qo'yish jarayoni o'z nihoyasiga yetdi. Hammani kelajakdagi ishlariga rivoj tilaymiz. Thank you very much. The ceremony of signing the contracts is over. We wish all the best to everyone.